YouTube. Today we're going to be looking at a couple Smith and Wesson revolvers, and I've showed both these revolvers before, but I have a specific reason why I have these particular revolvers sitting here on this table. But before we get started, I'm going to show you neither one of these revolvers have anything in them, and we are clear to make this video. So what are we talking about today? We're going to talk about the condition of these revolvers and how I came to acquire them and how it's a complete opposite story here. So I'm going to start off just by showing you the condition that these are in. I'm going to start off with this 586. This is a Smith & Wesson 586 no dash 357 Magnum. This is a 6-inch barrel. It's a square butt, and it happens to have the target grips on it. It has the color case hardened hammer and trigger, and the bluing on this, I'm going to go real slow over here and try and show you. The bluing on this thing is absolutely perfect. There's no flaws on it. It's not scratched up or anything like that. There's no wear marks on it. Any kind of imperfections that you see on this camera right here are the oils and the fingerprints from me handling it. Blued guns are really hard to get to look perfect on camera, so I'm going to do my best and show you real slow and go real slow across here and show you how perfect this gun is in perfect condition. Now, why am I showing you this? I'm going to tell you how I acquired this gun, but before that, I'm going to show you the next one here and show you the condition it's in. This one's a 629-3, and this is a 44 Magnum. This is a larger end frame, and this is what they call the Classic Hunter. It has a full underlug, has a non-fluted cylinder, and it only has a 6-inch barrel. And it also has a pair of the target stocks on it, and I'm going to go real slow over this and show you what kind of condition this is in. And it is in pretty much immaculate condition also. If you'll scan over this one and look, and I'll show you both sides of it. I'll try and go real slow. Stainless guns are a little bit easier to show you than blued guns, how the condition they're in. But pretty much perfect condition also. This is also a 6-inch configuration, a little bit bigger frame. Now, why am I comparing these two? Well, when I got this gun here, this 586, this one was one of the ones that all the collectors talk about, and it was in quote unquote unfired condition. It had its original box, was wrapped in the wax paper, had all the cleaning rod and all the paperwork and all the stuff that the guy was trying to upsell me on and stuff when I got it. Now, when I go looking for a gun, I'm looking for two things, folks. I'm looking for condition and price. Anything else you tell me is going to be a mute subject with me. I do not care about whether you have the box and whether your grandfather carried it in World War I or anything like that. I don't care. I'm looking to see what kind of condition it's in, if it's in good enough condition to where I can live with it, or I want to know how much you want for it. If you're trying to overcharge me or anything like that. And usually people that start getting into the whole box thing about how it's still wrapped in the original wax paper from 1980 and stuff like that, those are the people that's going to try and overcharge you. It's usually some dealer or some collector or something at a gun show that's trying to convince you to overpay for what you can buy anywhere else without the box. It's a whole lot cheaper, and you'll get just as nice a gun. But this person, I got a relatively good deal on this thing, and I didn't overpay for it. It just happened to be an unfired one, supposedly in the original box with the Smith & Wesson box and everything. Well, I mean, the first thing I did was take it out and fire it, folks. That's what people do with guns. Open it up. You can see it has been fired now. You can't really tell because I keep stuff really clean on that, but it has been fired. And then when I got done firing it, I have a 686. It's the same exact matching one of these. Well, this one had a worse action on it, so I had an action job done on it. So the trigger job's been done on it now, and now it works like an actual serviceable firearm. Now, not that Smith & Wessons don't work like a serviceable firearm. You can just make the actions a lot better by having somebody work the action on it and lighten the trigger pull up and everything, give it a more pleasurable shooting experience. But it absolutely drives me nuts for somebody to buy some piece of art like this and never shoot it. And this thing sat in somebody's freaking box, probably in their drawer or in a safe or something for 30 plus years, and nobody ever shot it. And I don't understand. It's not like this gun's rare. You know how many of these they made? They made as many of them as they could possibly make, as many of them that could sell. So this isn't a collector's item, folks. It's just a really well made, very nice revolver, and they really made them nice back in the 80s and the 90s, and if you were looking for one, the only thing you gotta look for is if the bluing's worn off of it, and that's even okay. If you're fine with that, you know, if you holster your gun a lot or whatever, that's not even that big a deal, folks. I'm not real big into having the bluing missing off of them, but, you know, I'll live with certain things depending on what the price is, but this one happened to be an unfired mint condition one, and now it has been fired. It has had action work done on it, and it still absolutely looks brand new. You cannot tell that this gun has not been fired or anything like that, because I take care of them. I really do a lot of cleaning on them, and I store them properly, and I still get to enjoy them, and it still looks as good as the Nimrod that sits at the gun show and wipes them down with wax all day long and won't let anybody touch his firearms. He wants to sell them. But this was an example of a unfired, in original box firearm that I happened to purchase, and it did not remain unfired very long or unmodified. Now we're going to move to a different spectrum here. This gun here looks absolutely perfect. If you look, I just showed you some of the close-ups of it over here, and it absolutely looks perfect. Well, the story behind this gun is a friend of mine and I got one of these each from a guy that had passed away. Somebody contacted him, and we went and looked, and I'd never even seen one of these before with the unfluted cylinder and the long thing. This guy had two of them. And this one here was the worst one. I think this guy, before he took his last breath, fired this thing one last time. This thing was absolutely disgusting. The whole front of the cylinder was black. I mean, just completely black. The inside here was all black, and there was some scratches on it and stuff. This gun comes from the factory. If anybody knows anything about these, I mean, these aren't real common guns. If anybody knows anything about these, they came with rubber Packmeyer grips on them, and I still have those rubber Packmeyer grips, and I can't remember whether I already had these or I bought these, but I went and got a set of Target factory, you know, period correct Smith&Wesson grips, and I cleaned this gun up, removed all the scratches from it and everything myself, and put these grips on it, and now look at it. It looks just as good as the one that has never been fired or anything like that. And as you can see, you just picked out a really nice set of grips for it, clean it up, remove all the scratches from it. Stainless steel guns are really, really forgiving, a lot more forgiving than blued guns. When you buy a blued gun, you know, you buy what you can live with, you know, buy one with the amount of bluing missing that you can live with. Stainless guns, it really don't matter. You can pretty much recover anything that's wrong with a stainless gun. But this gun, I mean, I've never seen anything like this. This guy thoroughly enjoyed this gun. This guy, and I was proud to have it, because this guy truly shot this gun a whole bunch before I got it. And out of the two that he had, my friend took the other one that was in better condition. I said, I want the bad one, because I'll take it and clean it up. So I took this one and just really, really did a good job. I got a real good deal on this. Like I said, I had never even seen one of these before, and I've seen 2 or 3 of them in my life now in person, you know, with the unfluted cylinder and the shorter 6-inch barrel and the full underlug on it. But this gun's in absolutely perfect condition, and I've shot it quite a bit, and it's also had an action job done on it, and It works way better now than when I got it, you know, because the action work's been done on it. But the moral of the story is, folks, people really get hardcore into buying things like firearms and collecting them and not using them. And I understand if you want to collect firearms. I collect firearms. I have a whole bunch of them, folks. I mean, a whole bunch of them. But I don't have any firearms that if somebody came over to my house today and said, I've always wanted to shoot one of those and I see you have one, there's not a gun in my safe that I wouldn't say, well, let's go shoot it. Let's go try it. I will fire every one of them, and I do fire every one of them. I don't fire every one of them every time I go to the range because there's just so many to choose from. But every one of these guns have been fired and enjoyed. And all you have to do, you know, is take care of them, and especially with these blued guns, keep them oiled down, clean them thoroughly and everything, and they will always look brand new. You don't have to sit there and preserve them and never shoot your stuff. Imagine owning the coolest Corvette or the coolest Mustang or coolest Porsche in the world and never driving it. It's kind of like Ferris Bueller's Day Off. The guy kept the car up there on blocks and never drove it and kept track of all the mileage. I just don't understand how people live that way. These things are really cool firearms, and you know, you're privileged to own something like this, so why not go out and enjoy it? Because I promise you, folks, a friend of mine told me, well, you're going to be dead someday, and when you're dead, you're going to be dead a really long time, and you're never coming back. Well, if you didn't get the chance to enjoy the stuff that you had in life, well, somebody's going to enjoy it after you're gone, and you just need to keep that in mind. It sounds morbid, but it's the absolute truth. But as you can see, these guns are both in immaculate condition. They've both been fired. This one's been fired a whole bunch way before I ever received it. And it's been fired quite a bit since I've had it. This one had never been fired before I got my hands on it. And now it has been fired, you know, a little bit. Not a whole lot, but it has been fired quite a bit. And it still looks just as good as the day that I got it. So, you know, two lessons here. Take care of your stuff. Really take pride in it. Keep it clean. You know, really take pride. Keep your stuff up. And second thing is use your stuff. You know, the stuff that you spend your good money for, and really go out and hunt down, especially this older stuff like this that, you know, you just don't see in your new gun shops laying around brand new every single day. You know, it's sometimes a little bit of a challenge to find it, and the challenge is matching up the correct price with the correct item. You know, you want something, but you don't want to overpay for it. Sometimes it's a little bit of a challenge to find something like that. So why spend all that work and time and effort out there when you won't even enjoy it? But anyway, folks, let me know what you think of these two guns. Are you one of the people that never shoot your stuff? Or are you one of the people that take care of your stuff? Or are you one of the people to just go out there and wear it out? I like all of them. Thank you very much for watching my video today. And you folks have a great day.